the higher time frame market forecast slash higher time frame draw liquidity. This is the weekly outlook on EURUSD, GBPUSD, and DXY. We are about to close on the monthly time frame, which we only have 9 days left for this monthly candle closure. And this candle, the monthly time frame, is overall bullish candle. I am looking for this candle to close at a fair price, which needs to close down lower. And he hasn't made a low for some reason. He did make a low, but very small, ticky. His overall, as you guys know, we're on the last week of the month, which needs to close at a fair price, which needs to close back down and reset. So this monthly candle is a bullish candle. We're looking for a specific week only for shorts. If we do have opportunities to long, we're not gonna take it. We probably will, probably not. I'll highly not. Since last week of the month, I'm looking for drawn liquidity to support my last week retracement guideline rules. If I don't have a drawn liquidity supporting it, I'm gonna take the trade. Simple. The drawn liquidity is much more important than anything else. On the weekly time frame, since we are in the last week of the month, we're looking for retracement, and the monthly time frame is overall bullish candle. So I'm looking for the last week of the month to close in a bearish candle. The last week of the month, yep. So now on the weekly time frame, we have a weekly ERL. We have a weekly ERL back to this IRL, which is this weekly order block, as well as a weekly CFD downside, CFD high, CFD low. On the daily time frame, we have a daily. At the moment, we have a daily IRL, 2 ERL, a daily CFD upside. So next week is gonna be an interesting week. I probably will high likely not trade most of the time next week unless I get a clear and strong drawn liquidity. Otherwise, I'll high likely not trade next week. Only if we have some sort of a IRL to this ERL eventually go back down lower, because next week looks to be very interesting. Because the daily time frame, the short-term drawn liquidity is currently not respecting the high-term drawn liquidity supposed to be closing in a bearish week. It's a very interesting week, right? So next week, upcoming week, I want to be very careful. You should be very careful on EURUSD because the last week retracement rule is meant to go to the fair price, which needs to go down lower because this week was this monthly candle is a bullish candle. I can give you guys, to my thesis here. This candle closed bearish because the last week of the month. Last week of the month, 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 bullish candle, last week of the month. You see right in here, right? So it's gonna be very interesting. So be very careful on the upcoming week. On a daily time frame, I don't have no bearish drawn liquidity here yet. I have a daily IRL to ERL, a daily CFD upside, a daily wick below because high prices. I don't have any bearish strong liquidity until Tuesday or Wednesday because that day there could be a potential bearish candle which could give us an ERL sign, then eventually go down, go lower, or we go back to this ERL, then have some sort of SMT, then go down lower. But going to the quality asset, which is GU, I'll high likely see a SMT with DXY and EU. And GU is probably not going to push up the liquidity because GU is all down here. And we do have a daily IRL to ERL on GU. So let's see how it goes. Because I don't trade GU. So this right over here, I would probably not execute it because I don't trade GU. But going over to DXY, let me check the higher time frame here. We do have this daily ERL back to daily IRL, a daily CFD downside. So DXY is telling me bearish price action, which is going to cause a bullish price action to EU and GU. So it's going to be an interesting week. But do we have any sort of SMT here? We don't have no SMT. No SMT here. We're good. Interesting week to come. Very interesting. Look at the weekly time frame. We have a weekly right over here. EURUSD back to this weekly IRL, which is there's a lot of consecutive candles to the downside, upside there over here, which we have a very fucking interesting week. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Very interesting week. Up tomorrow, I'm probably gonna have a more clear bias. Right now, I'm kind of geeked. So, DXY is gonna be bearish pricing with over daily EURUSD to IRL and daily CRT downside. This is our CRT as well. This candle. So you can expect the lower prices down to this low. How? Because we have a daily IRL down to this EURL. You can see how I'm mismatching this up simply because this, I don't think this EURL doesn't look like it's disrespected, but it does look like to be a bearish candle closure. But this is where the candle closed, so it's highly not disrespected. So with daily IRL back to this EURL and daily see the downside. So we should definitely anticipate lower prices on the US dollar, and we should expect higher prices on EURUSD, which daily IRL to EURL and daily to the upside. So it definitely makes sense to go up 5% on the EU. But we're gonna see on Tuesday or Wednesday, because those days will highly give us that beautiful time to look for trades, because Tuesday and Wednesday are one of the highest probably days of the week. But yeah, thank you for watching. This is my weekly market forecast going over EURUSD, DXY, and GU. See you guys later. Peace out.